Hey everybody, we're going to go on today and simplify more polynomials by combining like terms. We got to be a little more careful with this one because this one includes some negatives outside of the parentheses. So let's take a look. Whenever I see that, the first thing I want to do is get rid of all the parentheses. So let's go ahead and do that first. So here we go. We got 4x squared, or 4x, excuse me, plus 10x to the fourth minus 6x cubed minus 9. Now you see this negative here, it's like a -1. You got to distribute that all the way through, which in reality means you just got to change all your signs. A negative times a positive 12 is a negative. A negative times a -7 is a positive. A negative times a -3 is a positive. And a negative times a positive 2 is a negative. So I distributed that -1 all the way through just by changing my signs. All right, now let's get going here. I like to start with the biggest exponent so we stay in standard form. The biggest exponent here I see is a 4. And you see how I'm circling the sign in front of the term also. Here's another 4. Now, the 12 is bigger than 10 and the 12 is negative, so my answer is going to be negative. The signs are different, so subtract them. 12 take away 10 is 2. And we're done with that. Now, let's go to the cubes. How many different cubes do we have? So I have -6x cubed, and I've got a 3x cubed. Well, the 6 is bigger and it's negative, so my answer is going to be negative. 6 take away 3 is 3. The signs are different, right? One's negative, one's positive, so you subtract the numbers. You doing okay? All right, let's keep going here. Now, we did the x to the fourth, the x to the third. Let's see if there's any x squares. Do we have any x squares? This is the only x squared I see. So I'm going to just bring it down the way it is. And then that brings us to our x's, and this is the only x I see, so I'll bring that down. It's a positive 4x. And lastly, we have to look at our constants, our numbers that don't have a variable with them. We've got a -9 and a -2. That makes -11. And there we go, we simplified. Woohoo! How are we doing? If you have any comments, concerns, questions, just put them in the comments section. I'll definitely get back to you. All right, we got to go on. So again, I see a minus sign in this next problem outside the parentheses. So I'm going to start by eliminating all my parentheses. So I got 2. We got to be very careful to pay attention to detail. So I'm just rewriting the problem right now. Plus 9y cubed x plus 2x to the 5th. Now, this is like a -1. We've got to distribute it all the way through. A negative times a positive is a negative. A negative times a negative is a positive. A negative times a positive is a negative. And a negative times a negative is a positive. So all you have to do, and it's a -1, all you have to do is go through and change all your signs and you're golden. All right, next, it's time to combine those like terms. So here we go. Let's start with this x squared y to the third. See if we have any more x squared y to the thirds. Oops, I see one here, x squared y to the third. Are there any other ones? X squared y, I don't see any other ones. All right, well, if you've got 2 of them and you take 2 away, you've got none left. These are canceling each other out. All right, now let's just go to the -x to the 5th. -x to the 5th. Do we have any other x to the 5th? Here's an x to the 5th. And I think that's all I see. Well, a -1 and a +2 leaves you with a +1. Next, again, I like to leave my constants for last. Doesn't mean you do, but I do. So I'm going to do this positive y to the 4th, x to the 4th. Here I've got a y to the 4th and an x to the 4th. Doesn't matter which letter comes first. So I've got a +1 and a -7. The 7's bigger, so it's going to be negative. And 7 take away 1 is 6. That takes care of that. Now, let's keep going here. We've got a 9x cubed y, or y cubed x. And here we got a 4y cubed x. If I put those together, I get 13y cubed x. Okay. Now, what else do I have here? I've got a 1 and a +9x. Well, they can't go together because the 1 doesn't have an x. So we can just bring those down. And we're done. What do you think? I think you can handle this. If you just remember when you're looking for the like terms to circle the sign in front of it. You're just carrying the variables and the exponents along. So you're either adding or subtracting the numbers out front. That's it. So if you need more practice in this, let me know, and I'd be happy to put up some more problems. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'd appreciate it if you subscribe. Thank you.